and find out who you followed on Twitter. So I think I got like 5,000 emails for my Twitter account that I don't check anymore. And so it's not hard to track Twitter. It's an email per person, and it has the name of the person or the Twitter of the person that subscribed to you.
I'm not famous enough for that yet. I don't have enough followers to have spammed my email inbox. So I might have to turn those notifications off soon. Or I'd like to hope I'd have to turn those notifications off soon. I'm only at about 500 followers.
Oh man, I'm ready to get this going. I'm on the brink of passing out. It's so weird. You know, it's so funny. I anticipated casting this at 4 in the morning, right? So I jumped in bed about 7 p.m. The lights were still out, and so I kind of just toiled around in bed until like about 11:30 midnight, and then I passed out and I woke up. My alarm rang at 2:30, and I really should have just bumped it back another 30 minutes. Just it's
That was 2 hours to prepare for this. That's a lot of time.
yeah, it's just hopefully this tournament is gonna make me pass out really early today. Ideally, I want to sleep by 6 p.m. because casting an EU tournament on the west coast of the US is quite hard.
That's dedication to esports right there. That's what that is. That's
You know, it's one
moving
of those
things
things.
forward.
This is basically my baby right now. I'm just trying to get it up and running, and I want to see it through the first time, and see. Like I want to learn everything I need to learn about hosting a tournament, so I can make the next one even better. This is my vision of this tournament. I want to make it better, bigger and better every time. I want the tournament to be bigger. I want the prizes to be better, and I want more teams competing. So, just a little bit more info about this tournament. Let me tell them I'm ready. A little bit more info about this tournament is, right now we're just trial running this tournament, and we're just trying to get as much interest. To keep it simple, we're only inviting 8 teams, but in the future, the way I plan on doing it is, the top 4 teams from the previous tournament will automatically get invited, and we'll have a qualifier throughout the week to qualify for the weekend tournament, whether it's casted or not. That way it's going to open up the tournament not just for invited team, it's going to be open to everybody, so everybody has a chance to enter the scene, and make a name for themselves. So it's gonna be good. I'm very excited.
Right. Big things coming your way from the lovely guys over at TSM. And what a way to start them, I'm not going to lie. Soraka, first ban straight off the cards. TSM do not want that on the table. Isn't it still like 7 a.m. for those guys? On their East Coast, aren't they?
They're East
Yeah,
Coast, so
players.
it's 9:28 for them.
Oh, that's not so early then. It's getting there now. We had to phone Maluno about 25 minutes before it started, get him out of bed. But the rest of the team are ready.
I'm so bad. I forgot to flip the names on the Cypher COG after the first game. So halfway through, I was reading the comment and I was like face palming, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm so dumb."
That's the beauty of having the tool.
Yeah,
You can just
it's
hit
very
that
good.
switch button.
Very
Yeah.
good. That reminds me, I should put the new logos on for TSM
Yep.
is blue and Absolute Legends is.
It's purple. Unfortunately, with colorblind mode on, it will slightly mismatch the colors, but it still makes it easier for most people to watch. We do have an updated version coming out soon, which will have the right colors around, so it matches with colorblind mode. But that's not important. What is important is what is this last ban going to be? We've got Olaf, Kennen, Shen, Urgot, and Soraka taken away. I mean, Zinnik and Slepper not running the Urgot Soraka bot lane. Kennen, Olaf, I don't want to say both
They
taken
really
away
don't
from
like
Dyrus.
Dyrus. They really don't
Yeah.
like Dyrus. Um, like playing with Dyrus, I know he's really familiar with 3 champions: Olaf, Kennen, and Vlad. You take that away from him, he's gonna have a much harder top lane. So I'm almost certain he's gonna pick up Vlad if they leave it open. So if AL wants to really hurt Dyrus, they want to pick him up as a second or third pick. If they play Vlad at all, and that would really just put Dyrus at a disadvantage, and that would be a quick way to get an upper hand on Dyrus You ban the champions that you can, and then you pick the rest, and it's definitely gonna hurt Darius a little bit. And Dr. Mundo, you see Odd One playing Dr. Mundo pretty frequently, and Mundo is one of those champions. His ganks are decent enough that he's a threat early game. He's really, really strong in the jungle because once he hits Masochism, he's gonna come up and slap you in the face for like 150 damage, right? And then if he wants to get away from you, he's just gonna throw this infected cleaver and walk away from you. So if he bumps into you in the jungle, he can chase you down and kill you if you're low. If you bump into him when he's low, he's gonna be able to throw infected cleaver and walk away from you. So he's a relatively low risk jungler, and he's really strong at counter jungling. So um, it's it's one thing I noticed is Odd One would just farm his jungle or give up a buff and go to the enemy jungle at level 2 and just camp in there with Mundo, and it's very very frustrating as the other jungler. And I'm guessing Absolute Legends doesn't want to deal with that.
No, he's one of the top junglers on all cases at the moment. I mean, in the moment in EU, Mundo's been nicknamed Malundo, but they obviously
Oh,
banned
there
it
we
out. They
go.
don't want to
There,
risk giving away first
there
pick. And
goes
yes,
the
Young
Vlad
Buck.
pick.
Yeah, Young Buck is known for his Vladimir. He is another one that is really strong at the gym. His
Yeah.
Vladimir and his Renekton are Young Buck's two top. So, as you say, taking it away, not only taking it from Dyrus, but giving it to Young Buck sets AL up for what would appear to be quite a safe top lane. But we'll see
hmm
quite what Dyrus does pull out of the bag.
He's probably. I feel like he's just gonna switch back to Rumble. Rumble doesn't fare too bad against Vlad, and Dyrus has. He's still got a really really strong Rumble. So, with this comp, I wouldn't be surprised if Solomid picks up Rumble, picks up Ashe, picks up Karthus or Cassiopeia, and run that double AP with double will and have that Ashe Nocturne for long range initiate. Is this a really really strong engage where they can pick off a lot of people really really quickly. So um, if they play it right, they can, and especially Nocturne. I think TSM kind of had the inkling that uh, AL was gonna pick Vlad because Nocturne does really well against Vlad. Same with J4 too, actually.
Here's those global pairings you were talking about. Ashe Ultimate, Nocturne Ultimate, and Karthus Ultimate. And
hmm
I was going to say, I would love to see Dyrus pick a Rumble because I have never cast a Rumble top.
Oh,
In fact, I've
really?
never cast a Rumble at all. No, he's that uncommon in EU right now that just never seen him in that top lane.
You pair Rumble in this composition, you're gonna have three really, really long range ultimate. You're gonna have an Ashe able to fire an arrow down the middle, hit and stun somebody, and then effectively slow the cluster. And when that happens, Rumble is free to drop the tail end of his ultimate onto the person that's done. So that's a guaranteed hit and guaranteed damage. And then he's going to be able to drag it onto the rest of the teammate that's really, really slow already. And you add the slow from the Ashe Arrow, add the slow from the Rumble. If the wall gets on top too, they're going to be moving very, very slow. And Nocturne's going to be able to get in there and just get his passive off quite a bit of time.
Are you sitting on Nidalee? Why are you on Nidalee, Cynic? Nautilus. Now, could be to swap with Milano. It could
hmm
also be support. I have seen support Nautilus a couple of times.
You think they're going to
And
run
it's,
AP Janna mid though?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
So that was a completely irrelevant subject. So yes, thank you for that. I completely skipped over the fact Jana was even sitting there. Uh, I don't
You
know
know,
why. Mind blanked.
Nautilus is a really strong jungler, especially against an Ashe, because Ashe doesn't really have a lot of escape. Nautilus is going to be able to lock down Ashe, and Vlad is going to be able to get in there, just drop his ultimate, pull, and drop a lot of damage, and Tristana is going to be able to pick off somebody really quick and jump back out. But, you still got to keep in mind, if TSM engages first with their triple ultimate right now, is going to be very, very painful for AL regardless.
It's meant to be 4 a.m. for you. There's me making those mistakes. And there is that rumble. Just as you predicted, Reginald going to grab that one, swap it out with Darius. Chaos has already got his Ashe. We are still waiting on the support to go with it. And Alistair. Is it going to stay that way? It is. So there's the timer hits to 0.
Like
And
sorry, I was gonna say the
yeah, go on.
rationalization behind picking Alistar would be you have four very very squishy champions, and so they don't have a true tank, and so what they would need is they would need to build Nocturne semi-tanky so he can take a lot of the aggro, and they would also need to, they would need to build Nocturne tanky so he can take some damage and choose a support that can also tank to pull some of that aggro off of the rest of the squishy. Because if you have four relatively lightweight champion, they're gonna die really quick. So having Alistar in there to buy them time with the head bolt pulverize and just soaking up a lot of the damage with his ultimate is just, it synergizes with his comp really, really well.
And wow, bringing out the Talon mid.
Talon mid.
Yeah,
Talon does really
it's something
well
I've seen. I've seen it's
against.
done it a couple of times.
Uh,
He did it first time I saw it was against Galio,
hmm
which obviously kind of negates the whole magic resist. I haven't seen him as of yet play it up against Karthus, but I'd imagine it works quite well.
Talon actually destroys Karthus. Because generally Karthus doesn't build too tanky. So Talon at level 6 should be able to, if he's gotten one or two rake off onto Karthus, he should be able to just give Karthus within 1 second. Basically, with the silence, he's gonna get amplified damage. With the rake, with the Q, and with the ultimate, he's gonna drop really, really quickly. So, um, I wouldn't be surprised if Reggie gets some armor runes, and he's gonna stack some health really, really early. Gets for that early catalyst. Is the
They've
game
remade.
going in for you?
No, they've remade.
Oh, they
Whoa,
remade.
massive bug. There we go.
All right,
Put back
so
in.
I should quit, right? And then
Yeah, if you hit quit expecting, it should put you back into the custom lobby.
I actually am not. I should I need to rejoin.
Yeah, okay.
Is the password still the same?
Should be.
Okay, let me go find it. This client's really buggy.
Yeah, it's since the new spectate merge, custom lobbies have been very hit and miss. I'm supposedly in the lobby. The players are
It
perhaps still.
says that the spectator slots are full, so
Yeah, well, it says you're in it, so
I'm definitely not in it. It's not going to start. Tell them to remake, please.
my lovely keyword.
Oh, there you go. I'm back in. It just took a really, really long time.
They've disagreed to remake the lobby, but never mind.
I goofed that hard. I didn't expect myself to just get back in. It's just the client's really
I
buggy.
think,
It's just
yeah, I
like,
like.
hey, I'm not gonna let you join. You're in the game already, and you can't do anything. And like, psych, you're back in the game. I actually just quit out again, and I'm back in the lobby. That's very
When
unusual.
Yeah, when you're sitting in spectate and one of the players leave, like if you leave before a player, it brings you back in when the next player will leave. So you've got to wait until there's nobody left in the game
Hmm
before you can try and quit.
That's unusual.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
okay.
it's
It's good enough to. I think in this case, just enough is good enough.
Zinuk whispered me. It was a remake because Reggie's got to make himself a 15 armor page.
I'm not surprised. The thing with TSM is they have like 2 or 3 rune books because they to play on the EU server they had to make brand new accounts. And to be honest, it took me about a year and a half to get my runes and masteries. My runes and rune pages set up. So it's a heavy disadvantage when you're playing without the right runes and masteries. I somehow just got kicked from that game. Tell them
Yeah, me too.
okay, that's good. So are they remaking or is it bugging out?
It's bugging out.
I'm just gonna relog altogether,
Okay.
and so hopefully that fixes the problem. You know, I should make a K-pop playlist tomorrow. It's for the fans. They've been requesting it.
I think that would go down pretty well.